Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Micks, Mowers, and in this episode we're going to be going indoors. The tumble dryer is broken and I'm guessing through the research that I've done, I'm guessing it's going to be the heater element that's gone. What it's doing, it's a Hoover Infinity, and what it's doing is everything's flashing. All the filters are flashing, the timer's flashing, all the LEDs are all flashing. Done a bit of research on it and they said it could be one of four things. Either the heater's gone, the relay in the main control panel, or two other sensors on the front, and it's not actually heating up at the back at all. So I've done a quick bit of fault finding and put a multimeter on the back side of the heater elements, and one of them is saying it's faulty. However, it could still be the ones at the front, so I may have just bought a new heater element for nothing. But until we get down and get dirty and have a look at it, we won't know. So come on, let's go indoors, let's check out this tumble dryer. Right, so here's the old Micks Mowers tumble dryer. It's all under guarantee and what have you, but I thought I'd do it myself. All of these lights here, when you turn it on, it's unplugged at the moment, they're all flashing and the whole lot's beeping at you to say there's something up with it. So, as I said, I'd looked online and it said it's either the control panel, a relay's gone in here, two fuses at the front, or one at the back. The most common one is the one at the back. Now the actual tumble dryer itself is not actually heating up. So I'll just drop you down a touch, 2 seconds. Right, so this is your heater bit on the back here. There's about 3 million screws to take out. How you doing, baby? Okay? Mrs. Peter's come home from work. That's it. And there's your heater element just there. Now I had to get hold of Roy because I'm not very multimetered intelligent, to be fair. And looking on the internet and what have you, I decided to have a go at testing this myself. I had a multimeter anyway, that I do have. And all you have to do is just put it onto resistors, which is one like the Wi-Fi, that one there. Put that down there. I don't know if you can see that. That's it. And then just test for continuity with the two prongs. Put it onto function. And it should beep at you. That's it. So it's beeping. So that's working. And then continuity across these two. Yes, and it's coming out at, oh hang on, it's coming out at 01802, somewhere in there. And then this one here, nothing at all. So that's saying that one's dead. So that's what I decided to go with first. So once that's all done and tested, and it's very simple to test it like that, once you know what you're doing, of course. Put that back. All you got on here is two screws. Now they did say that it is possible to retrieve the wires through this little tiny side opening. If not, you've got to get in the front and take half the front off. Now it is only one plug, so I'm hoping to gain access via this little tiny hole here. If not, then we're knackered. So remove this little tiny rubber bung very gently, and I'm hoping, no I can't. So next thing you've got to do is you've got a little tiny clip just here on the side here, little tiny bung. If you've got to release that, push that in so that your cables will then drop forward, and then you'll go around the front and attack this from the front. So let me get a pair of long nose pliers, push that through, and I'll come back. Right, got my long nose snips. Push that in there, push that through, and then that should then give you that little plug. Now the problem is that this little tiny clip is going to have to go back on to hold that wire out of the way. So you're going to have to access this from the front. You can't just put it there and have it sitting in, and there's no way of forcing that back, I don't think, as of yet. So here's the plug. Now we recommend that you get a cable tie tight round here so it doesn't fall back in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my new heater element. I'm going to screw that straight into place with the 2 screws that come out with, so that's then sat up in its right position. And they say these are quite temperamental, so you can't go dropping them and what have you, because they don't like it. I think that's got him. Yeah. Now, I'm not seeing a rubber bung with this, so I need to retrieve that rubber bung off the other one. And that's it. And that's that in place. In fact, it's not in place, it's not sitting as flush as I would like. That's better. That's better, nice and flush. So now I can now remove this little tiny plug. It should just pull apart like so. Now I don't want to drop that, because if I do, it's going to go back into there and I've had it. So I might just put my long nose pliers in there just to stop that from doing that. Retrieve the plug, like this little plastic grommet. That's got to come off. I'm guessing that was put on beforehand. That splits, okay. That goes back on to there. And I get my plug. And these should all be colour coded. So red, black, and I've got yellow, which is slightly different. But it can only go on one way. So that's it. So that's all you have to do. But now it's got to go back into there. That's then got to come all the way around to push that cable into its home. You can't take the sides off. I'm just wondering if I can't get access to that via the top, which could be a possibility. If not, you've got to take the door off, you've got to take the front off, the control panel off, you've got to take all the inner workings of the fan out, the whole lot, and it's about an hour's work. So I'm going to remove these bolts off of the top. I'm hoping to get my hand down here. Could be 110% incorrect. And you're probably all shouting at me now saying, yeah, you're wrong, Mick. But until you try, you don't know. I'm just removing the 3 bolts at the top on the back, which you guys probably can't see. Let me bring it up a smidge. Okay. Just removing these 3 up here. This is probably what it cost you, about 100 quid for a bloke to come and fix it, because it's going to take me an hour to take it apart. You would have thought your mother will make me a cup of tea by now, wouldn't you?
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're alright, babe. You just sit there and you watch me.
I'm watching.
What are you doing? I've got coffee here, babe. Made it myself. I'll sit and wait for you all day.
Pour you.
Don't you pour me, Mrs. P? That one comes apart. You would have thought you'd have cleaned this, Mrs. P, before coming here working. What's Nana been doing then? Down in town, right. And as sod's law would have it, I can't get in there.
Oh.
So, I cannot physically get my fingers round. My fingers won't reach.
Mine?
I don't think you'll get it, sweetheart. Because you've got to put quite a bit of force on it. You won't get it from underneath either. So that's a pickle. So you can't get it from up the top. There's just no space with a drum. And all it is literally that's just got to sit in there like that, and it just holds that cable away. That's all it does. So we've now got to attack this from the front, just to push that one clip in, which is annoying. But there you go. These things are sent here to try us.
Are you still filming?
Yeah, I'm still filming, babe. You're live on YouTube. Why is that, darling?
That's right.
What are you going to ask me? Hey? Nothing. Right, so door open. And we've got a couple of hexy bits here. A couple of hex screws to come off. Then all these four got to come off, because you can't just remove this door without it. The panel's got to come off. All that sort of good stuff. And then you've got to get into here to remove the fan assembly. So I'll start with these ones here. I don't think I can cheat. I don't think it will allow me to. So I'm getting to there. But then I need to undo a bolt right down inside here, which is a 10mm. Lots of fluff in it. I'll get the old Hoover out in a minute, babe, and I'll have to have a clean up. I can actually physically see the hole where it's got to go. So that's cool. So with a 10mm, let me bring it down a bit more so you can see what I'm going on about. Somewhere in there. In this hole, right at the very, very back. Let me take you in here so you can see what I'm on about. There's a little tiny 10mm bolt right in the centre. See it there? You have to undo that. Once that bolt's undone, you can then remove this housing and what have you. And then the fan then comes out as well. Now I'm hoping to do that without having to take all the front off. But I shall let you know how that goes, because I do recommend that you do. That's what they say. But I'm not really one for listening like that. Right, I want my screwdriver, and I think that's about a 10 from what I remember him saying. It feels like a 10. You've got to put one hand in, grab the fin, and turn it with the other, which is no easy thing, especially with my big hands like a gorilla. I don't know if that's got it or not. It might be a bit bigger than 10mm. I don't think it is. Let me try an 8. That's an 8. No, definitely not an 8. I'll try a 9, but I think it is a 10. What's up, baby? Got heartburn?
We will have to leave it out though, so I can have it as well if I need it.
Alright, let me try and make this a bit longer. So I can take some turns on it. In fact, I might just do it with that one. That might make it a bit better. Give me a bit more space to move in it. And then put the ratchet on the back of it.
Hey, this didn't come through today, did it?
No, babe. Right, I've got that 10mm moving. Just got to grab hold of the fins of the old fan as you take it off. Put your hand underneath the socket so you don't lose that 10mm nut when it comes off. There's a washer behind it as well. That's them two bits. Now that fan should pull out. You've got all this to come out as well, which I think is where we're going to be stuck with the old. There's a plate there. That's right. You've got a little tiny metal, little plastic plate to remove first. It comes out, then the fan will come out, and then this has got to be manipulated. Now this, I think, is where we get stuck. All right, we're getting there. Now this is quite tricky to remove, and this is, I think, why you have to take the other side off. There's some wires here you don't want to get caught up on and all that sort of malarkey. Yeah, that's why you got to remove all that other stuff, which is annoying. And you can't bend it, as I'm trying to. But what I was hoping to do is try and just lower it down enough, just so I can get my hand up in there. I don't think I can. So I'm not a tumble dryer expert, anyway, shape or form. But if I can get this out without having to remove any other bits, I'm on a bit of a winner. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Just by the shape of it. That's not far out, you know. But I'm not going to break it. And I can actually see right at the very far back, I can see the hole. So that's got to be crimped into. You would think it's made that hole a little bit bigger, wouldn't you, at the back? Just so you can get to that. That's come out. Right, so they lied, you ain't got to remove all the top of that off. I'll get the hoovering in a bit, as I say. Right, so right at the back here, let me show you. Let me bring it down. Now, you'd have to remove all of it if you wanted to get at that hole. You see the big hole right at the very back, and there's a slightly smaller hole just to the side of it. That was 2. You want to get the bigger hole out of the 2. So now what you want to do is try and manipulate that little plastic clip that I showed you over that hole, and if you can then push it with something, you'll be a winner. So I'm going to try and make something up so I can grab hold of that, push that clip through. Otherwise you've got to remove the door and all that sort of good stuff just to get your hand up in there. I might be able to get my hand in there. We'll see how we get on. I might need Mrs. P's help in a minute just to guide me, but we'll see how we get on. Right, so I've brought in my glamour assistant here, Mrs. P. So just poke it in the hole, Mrs. P. Don't muck about too much. I'm going to try and fill your finger with my finger, and then you let me know if I've got it lined up. So I've only got little arms. Right. Now then, what's that there? Is that your thumb?
My finger.
Right, pull your finger out now, and let me know when I've got my finger over that hole. Is it? My finger's about here.
I want it here.
You want it down here?
Here. Yeah, you had it then. There.
That's it there, is it?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me find it again. That's my thumb.
Oh, nearly. Here.
That's roughly where I am. There.
There. Can I play?
No, yeah, I did see it then. Come up a bit, this way a bit,
Which is this way, Pat?
this way.
Towards me.
Yes, there, got it. It's in.
Now, what do you say?
Read it through.
What do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do. Do you want me to push it in?
Yeah.
She's a wicked girl.
Oh,
Is that it?
Yeah.
come out.
Am I in?
Yes.
Am I in?
It's gonna go. It's gonna go.
There you go. No, it won't. There you go.
It will.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
Oh,
Right.
whoa.
So, just need to make sure that all them cables are now away from that pulley. Just bend them down. Push that clip in. Well, all I'm saying to you is, that was the longest time ever. Right, Mrs. P's gone outside for a smoke. You bad girl. Right. Now I want to just push this this bung back round. That goes in there, and all that's got to be folded up like so. Put a bit of slack through. Right, so that's that bit done. I can now put that back plate on, but before I do any of that, I want to put that front together. So I'm hoping I've done it right, and by skimping and not taking that front door off, I'm hoping we can get around that. Let's see. So as I say, I don't pretend to be a professional. I'll make this up as I go along. This is going to be the hardest bit, is getting this back in, I would say. It came out, so that would tell me it would go back in. With a little bit of brute force and a bit of this and a bit of that. That should go, I like to think. If it don't, I've got to take all that apart. I don't want it. Right, that's gone in. Right, now that sits on some slides. Make sure you don't pinch any of these cables as you put this all back, otherwise you'll be right for it. That's it there, that's gone in. Look at that. Well happy. Right. With that now in place, you can now put your fan back on, which is just centralised on that shaft, which I think is about there. Yeah, just make sure I'm not pinched no wires before I go any further. No, I ain't. Right, that's gone on the shaft. We've now got the 10mm and the washer to put back on, which is back on that shaft. And although you're not actually seeing a great deal, it's self-explanatory, you know. Right, once that 10mm is done up slightly, then just grab hold of the fins of that fan, guide your 10mm driver. It's got to be quite a good size, so you want some extension bars. Now this hasn't got to be up extremely tight, it's got to be on there though. So just wedge the fins with your fingers and do that up. Now as soon as it starts to go against resisting, that'll be enough. Got to be on quite snug. This kiddie goes one way or the other. I think it goes that way with the grooves at the bottom. If I'm wrong, I'll soon tell you. No, it goes that way. I think. There's a little tiny groove it's got to sit in. Just at the top first. A little tiny slot that piece sits in, and then the bottom bit then sort of just marries up with it. If you don't get it in right, it's just going to float about in there and do all sorts of weird stuff. Let's try that way. That actually felt better then. That's it. They should be both the same size, so. that's that in. That all sits into place. You've then got your screws to put in here, which I think were just 3 of them. So I think by doing that little shortcut, I probably saved myself about an hour in actual work time. One there, one there, one there. That's all in. I'll put that front cover on later. Those will fluff about. Okay, I'll turn the machine round. So we really need this machine to work because so I've got 4 kids, school uniforms. You know, we've got a lot to dry. So I've got three or four bolts to put up at top here. In a bit. I've got all these screws to put in. As I say, the other videos, I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking them because they are professionals. I could have broken that or cut myself putting that in. So you have got to sort of listen to what they say. They are the kiddies that know. Just give it plenty of slack. That's it. That sits in there a bit better. And then this thing sits up here, like so, making sure that all them cables are in. It's going to be somewhere there. Put my foot against it for now. And wind home all these 3 million screws. I'll do that and I'll come back to you. Right, that's the backing plate now put on. I'm now going to endeavour to put this one on. I think it goes that way, I think. It's got to sort of sit in some slots and it just slots into place. Like so. Yeah, I'll come back a bit, that's it. That one sits into place, and then I've got a back guard to put on. Here's my back. That sits on. That sits on. And then I've got what's remaining is these little tiny 8mm bolts. I think they're 8mm. No, smaller. About 1/4. That's that one. Now, initially this was, as I say, was beeping and it wasn't heating up at all. Wasn't heating up. You put your hand on this backing plate and there's nothing there at all. But it's not to say that is a fault. So I may just replace this part for nothing. But I took a bit of a punt on it, and let's see how we get on. Right. Let me a bit of a tidy up. I'll come back and we'll turn it on and see what happens. Right, so it's all working as it should do with regards to the drum spinning around. Nothing's lit up here. Just going to give it 2 minutes just to see if we get any heat come out of it. Hopefully we get some heat. If not, I've changed the wrong part, but we'll see how we get on. Right, that's been running now for about 3.5 minutes. Already it's not beeping as it was do. I'm not to say it won't do in a minute, but it wasn't beeping. It's not beeping now, and it wasn't heating up. And I can get heat off of that glass. And I'm getting heat off of the back plate as well. Yeah, lovely and warm. So that's how you replace a broken element. It is battered too, look, on a tumble dryer. So the good news is the tumble dryer is now working. So go and turn the bloody heating off. Thank you. Right, so that's the old tumble dryer now, all up and running. It's been running for about 15 minutes or so. It's not getting overly hot as I was hoping it wouldn't do. So it is all working as it should do. Mother-in-law's super happy. I'm happy because now the heating can go back off. I've been sweating like a pig for 2 days. So that's good. All repaired, done for 40 quid. So don't be too frightened to have a go at these things. I know I normally work on lawnmowers, but the principle's the same. Take it apart, put it together, replace a broken part. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Micks Mowers. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it informative. Even a little surprise guest, Mrs. P, joined in on this one, which is fantastic to see. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and give it a subscribe if this is your first time in watching Micks Mowers, and also touch the bell notification. That will give you a little reminder as to say I've released another video. So thank you very much, and don't forget, take it easy.